Do you have what it takes to defeat Mark the Beast Labette and his fellow trivia geniuses? Find out tonight on Masterminds. And here's your host, Brooke Burns.
Welcome to Masterminds, a game of trivia, smarts, and strategy. Let's meet our challengers. He's a retired PR executive that is an avid camper, originally from Massachusetts. Welcome, Mike. She's an operations manager and is a competitive dancer who can play the saxophone. Welcome, Lalana, to the show. He's a marketing executive who attended university in London and wrote his dissertation on Somali piracy. Say hello to Austin. Welcome to the show, everyone. Are you ready to face our masterminds today?
Yeah.
I hope you are. As a United States chess expert, he's always 3 steps ahead. Today, he's looking to make his move into the winner's circle. It's Jonathan Corbleu. She's won big money on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, 500 questions, and went head-to-head with Mark the Beast Labette on The Chase. Welcome, Muffy Morocco. He has a master's from Oxford, a post-grad degree from the University of Exeter, and law from the University of Glamorgan. He has more degrees than a 5-alarm fire. My pal, Mark the Beast Labette. Here's how we play. I'll ask you a series of trivia questions over 3 rounds of escalating difficulty. At the end of the game, the highest scoring challenger will face the highest scoring mastermind in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. If a challenger wins, they'll come back to compete again. And if a challenger wins 2 times, they will be crowned a mastermind and potentially take the place of one of our masterminds on this very stage. Right, Muffy?
I wouldn't bet on it.
In round 1, there are 7 subjects, each with a corresponding question. All challengers and masterminds will play. Correct answers are worth 100 points. Good luck. And the first subject is technology. On your iPhone, holding down on a text message and dragging left reveals it's what? Letter count, sender name, or timestamp? And the correct answer is timestamp. Challengers? There we go. Looks like we all have iPhones. 100 points across the board. Masterminds. Okay, Muffy and Jonathan for 100 points apiece. Beastie, you don't have an iPhone.
I do, just never bothered using that.
Oh. So whenever you text me and I text you back and you're like, you didn't text me and it's only been 5 minutes, and I say, no, check your timestamp, it's been 2 hours, that's how you'll know.
That assumes I care.
Ouch. The next subject is sports. About how much was a ticket to the first Super Bowl in 1967? $12, $100, or $500? And the correct answer is $12. How do we do, challengers? Okay, for the gentlemen, Mike and Austin, 100 points apiece. Well done. And for our masterminds, okay, 100 points across the board.
Yeah, Bart Starr was the quarterback. The Packers played the Chiefs. I think the halftime show was some kind of like choir or marching band or something. It was only 2/3 full, so the Super Bowl needed some time to kind of pick up steam.
And do you remember where it was played?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Now $12
That's
at the Super Bowl will get you about half a hot dog.
Indeed. Thank you, masterminds. The next subject is animals. What creature was given a name by the Greeks that meant camel sparrow? Ostrich, llama, or weasel? And the correct answer is ostrich. Challengers, how'd we do? Okay, Austin got it for 100 points. Well done, sir. Masterminds, 100 points across the board.
The Greeks called the giraffe a camelopard, and the Greeks obviously got to Africa. They never got to South America for the llama.
Yeah, well, sparrow in there too. A little bit of a hint there for
weasel
the bird.
was certainly an Anglo-Saxon or Germanic word.
All right, thank you, Beastie. The next subject is stage names. Before he was known as The Rock, Dwayne Johnson wrestled under what name? Full Nelson Rockefeller, Rex Tyrannus, or Flex Kavana? And the correct answer is Flex Kavana. How about this one, challengers? Okay, Lalana. Well done, 100 points for you. Masterminds. 100 points across the board.
He also went by the name Rocky
Maivia?
Maivia, right, which was, I believe, taken from his dad, who had also been arrested.
Yeah, his father was Rocky Johnson and his grandfather was Peter Maivia. So he's literally third-generation wrestler.
Wow.
And I think at one point his daughter was fourth generation.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The next subject is laws. In what Asian country is it illegal for Tibetan Buddhist monks to be reincarnated without government permission? China, North Korea, or Mongolia? And the correct answer is China. Challengers? Okay, for the gentlemen, Mike and Austin, 100 points apiece. Well done. Masterminds, 100 points across the board.
It's a race to try to become the next Dalai Lama, so they have to sort of put some rules in there just to make sure that they don't try to reincarnate so soon.
The succession of the Dalai Lama is based on who is reincarnated as the new Dalai Lama. So they do a ceremony where they lay out objects, and if often a child picks an object, and they're like, I used to own this, they're like, yeah, that used to be his thing. So who becomes the ruler is based on who is supposedly reincarnated, so it's a way of making sure they know who the ruler is.
Thank you. The next subject is cars. The 1973 Oldsmobile Toronado was the first commercial vehicle with what feature? Airbag, AM/FM radio, or anti-lock brakes? And the correct answer is airbag. Challengers, how'd we do? Well done, 100 points for you. Masterminds? Muffy for 100 points. The last subject is entertainment. In the first 50 years of the MPAA rating system, what rating did the majority of films receive? G, PG, or R? And the correct answer is R. How about this one, challengers? I see some surprised faces over here. Lana is like, I got this, 100 points for you, well done. Masterminds? Oh, no points. All right, that's it for round one on our challengers side. Mike and Austin are in the lead with 400 points apiece, well done. And for our masterminds, we've got Muffy in the lead with 600 points. When we return, the points get higher and the questions get more difficult as we get closer to determining who will play for $10,000. More masterminds right after this. Welcome back to Masterminds. In this round, both the challengers and the masterminds will write in their answers for a chance to build their score. There are 5 subjects, and correct answers are now worth 200 points. At the end of this round, the challenger and the mastermind with the lowest scores will be eliminated. Let's play. And the first subject is religion. A quote from Job 121 says, "The Lord gave and the Lord hath" what? And the correct answer is taken away. How do we do? Okay, well done. Mike for 100 points. Masterminds. Beastie, Muffy, and Jonathan, 100 points across the board. So surprising. Beastie, you got a question right about the Bible.
Well, proverbially, the patience of Job, and you must be a candidate for it working with me after all these years.
Ain't that the truth? The next subject is anatomy. A sudden twisting motion is the usual cause of injury to what central ligament of the knee? Great. And for 200 points, the correct answer is ACL. Challengers? Okay, the gentlemen, Mike and Austin, 200 points apiece. Well done. How about for our masterminds? Muffy and Jonathan, 200 points apiece.
Yeah, there's several ligaments in the knee. There's the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament, the PCL, the posterior cruciate ligament. There's the MCL, and I think there's an LCL as well.
There you go. The next subject is seafood. A seafood substitute for its pricey relative, what crustacean's name means little lobster in Spanish? And everyone's locked. The correct answer is langostino. Challengers? Oh, okay, no points on this one. Interesting. Masterminds? Muffy, 200 points added to your score. Delicious.
Yes, it's basically looks like a shrimp but tastes like a lobster, and can't go wrong there.
Sounds good. And the next subject is hobbies. In London, a 1/30th size replica of the HMS Victory is believed to be the largest example of what hobbycraft? Great, for 200 points, the correct answer is ship in a bottle. Challengers, did we know this one? No, okay, a little bit tricky there. Masterminds, how about you? Okay, Muffy and Jonathan, 200 points apiece, well done.
I think it was commissioned by the mayor of London. I think HMS Victory was that.
It's a ship, but it's, even though it's a scale model, it's still like 15 feet long. It's quite large. I mean, it's large for a small thing.
Thank you, Masterminds. All right, it's time for the final question of this round. This question is worth 400 points. This will determine who will be moving on to the next round. Here is your final subject. The subject is theater. The play A Raisin in the Sun took its title from a line in what writer's poem, Harlem? $400 points, and to determine who will be moving on, the correct answer is Langston Hughes. Challengers! All right, well done, Mike. 400 points added to your score. That means it's going to be Mike and Austin moving on to the next round. Lalana, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure to have you. How about for our masterminds? Okay, Muffy and Jonathan, 400 points apiece. And that means that they'll be moving on, and we'll see Beastie next time. When we come back, it's Challenger versus Challenger and Mastermind versus Mastermind to determine who will compete in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. More Masterminds after this. Welcome back to Masterminds. It all comes down to this. Which challenger will face the top mastermind for $10,000? We're about to find out. But first, let's get to know them a little better. Mike, tell me how long you've been into camping.
Well, I started when I was a Boy Scout, but I really have gotten into it in the last 10 years with my husband. We've been to more than a dozen national parks.
Wow.
We're not glampers. We keep it pretty simple, just a tent, sleeping bag, and a big box of snacks.
Wow, look at you. Any place that you still want to go?
Yeah, I want to go to Denali.
Denali,
Yeah,
beautiful.
a big goal.
Yeah, and you're not into the glamping. You're like, let's just do it the real
Do
way.
it basic under the stars, yeah.
What's one of your
Fire-
favorite things about camping?
The silence in the night.
Getting away from the city.
Getting
It's
away
so
from the-
true.
yeah.
Beautiful. Well, welcome to the show. Good
Thanks.
luck, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Austin, tell me about your dissertation work.
Yeah, so I wrote my undergraduate dissertation on Somali piracy. And about 6 months after I graduated, my professor reached out to me out of the blue and asked me if I wanted this job in Somalia. And,
Oh my God.
So, of course, I had to say yes. So I spent 6 months working in Hargeisa, Somaliland in research development consulting
Wow.
alongside the UN and various NGOs. And yeah, it was really rewarding.
Absolutely rewarding. And how great that you had made such an impact on your professor that they thought of you for this and it opened up a lifetime opportunity for you.
Absolutely, she was amazing. I can't thank her enough.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Well, welcome to the show and good luck to you
Thank you.
both. In this round, first the challengers and then the masterminds will face off in a timed trivia battle. The first question will be worth 500 points, and each question that follows will be worth an additional 100 points. It's anyone's game. Challengers, are you ready?
Yep.
Yes.
We are ready.
Great, let's go ahead and put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time will begin when I finish reading the first question. Good luck, gentlemen. 500 points. Named for their shells, leatherbacks are the largest ocean species of what? Mike.
Sea turtles.
Correct. 600 points. What AMC horror franchise puts prospective extras through an audition process called Walker University? Austin.
The Walking Dead.
Correct. 700 points. The name of what Florida capital city is an Appalachian term for Old Town? Austin.
Tallahassee.
Correct. 800 points. What brand of rum is named for and features the image of a real-life 17th century ship commander? Austin.
Captain Morgan.
Correct. 900 points. Born Abel Tesfaye, what singer had to drop the last E in his name due to copyright issues with a Canadian band? Time. The Weeknd. 1,000 points. The bayous, marshes, and prairies of southern Louisiana, settled by French Canadians, are known as what country? Austin?
Creole.
No.
Cajun.
Correct. 1,100 points. Dedicated to cultural funding, what independent federal agency is abbreviated NEA? Mike?
National Endowment for the Arts.
Correct. 1,200 points. After being promoted by Oprah Winfrey, what James Frey book was exposed as a fraudulent memoir? A Million Little Pieces. And that's it. Mike, congratulations. You just won $1,000. And not only that, but the opportunity to play for $10,000. Austin, it was awesome to have you here. Very close game. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, it was a great time. Thank
Great.
you.
All right, now we just have to determine which mastermind you'll be facing.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. You know how this works, guys. 60 seconds on the clock. Same rules apply. Your time begins when I finish reading the first question. Good luck. 500 points. Cornelius the Rooster is the mascot for what brand of Kellogg's cereal? Jonathan.
Cornflakes.
Correct. 600 points. In Egyptian mythology, Hapi personified the annual flooding of what river? Jonathan.
The Nile.
Correct. 700 points. When spelling out the numbers 1 through 10, which comes last alphabetically? Jonathan.
7.
No, Muffy.
6.
2. 800 points. What trade union was once led by Lech Walesa, who overthrew communism in Poland? Jonathan.
Solidarity.
Correct. 900 points. The UK's Union Jack flag is made up of heraldic crosses and 3 saints, St. Patrick, St. George, and whom? Jonathan.
St. Andrew.
Correct. 1,000 points. After depicting him crossing the Alps on a horse, who became Napoleon's official court painter? Jonathan.
Delacroix.
No, Muffy.
Nope.
Jacques-Louis David. 1,100 points. What musician became the first American songwriter to win the Nobel Prize in Literature? Muffy.
Bob Dylan.
Correct. 1,200 points. On what part of the body is someone most likely to wear a chukka? Jonathan.
Their feet.
Correct. 1,300 points. Lake Baikal is located in what large country? Jonathan.
Russia.
Correct. 1,400 points. What playwright's drama? Well done, Jonathan. You're tonight's top mastermind. Muffy, we'll see you next time. That means it will be Mike and Jonathan going head-to-head in our ultimate trivia showdown. Can Mike win $10,000 and take one step closer to becoming a mastermind? Find out when we come back. Woo! And here's your first question. The ruins of a Viking settlement in North America, L'Anse aux Meadows, can be found where in Canada? Mike, you answered with?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Jonathan, how about you?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland as well. And the correct answer is Newfoundland. Yes. Well done, Mike. Good start. And it's 1-1. And here's your second question. What was the first US satellite sent into space? Mike, you said?
Orbiter.
Orbiter. Jonathan, you said?
Gemini.
Gemini. And the correct answer is Explorer 1. Okay, that's good for us, Mike.
Okay.
The score remains 1-1. Here's your third question. What American suffragist founded the National Woman's Party in 1917? Mike, you said?
Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony. Jonathan, you said?
Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony as well. And the correct answer is Alice Paul. Oh, you guys were both on the same page there. Whew. Another lucky moment for us. Mike, the score remains tied at
Okay,
1-1.
all right.
We're going into the final question. If you get this one right and Jonathan is wrong, then you will win $10,000. Here we go. Here is your final question. The official languages of Switzerland are German, French, Italian, and what other language? All right, Mike, what did you say?
I guess Latin.
Latin. Jonathan, what about you?
Romanche.
Romanche. Okay, you have different answers. If the correct answer is Latin, you win $10,000. The correct answer is Romanche. Unfortunately, such a tough round, Mike. Nice job. Still, you won $1,000. I hope you enjoy your time camping around the States and the world, for that matter. Jonathan, too good tonight. Join us next time to see who can outsmart the best players in the world right here on Masterminds. Good night.
Do you have what it takes to defeat Mark the Beast Labette and his fellow trivia geniuses? Find out tonight on Masterminds. And here's your host, Brooke Burns.
Hello, and welcome to Masterminds, a game of trivia, smarts, and strategy. Let's meet our challengers. She loves doing sketch comedies and taking dares for charity. From New Jersey, welcome Tanea. He's a director of his local Boys and Girls Club and an undefeated 5th grade basketball coach. Please welcome AJ to the show. He's a Navy veteran that got a perfect score on the Stanford Binet IQ test. Welcome, Jose.
Thank you.
Welcome, contestants. Are you ready to face the Masterminds today?
Absolutely.
Are you planning on taking home some money?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. Here we go. He's a Yale grad who's won big on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Jeopardy! It's the guru of game shows, Ryan Chafee. Her parents won $1 million on a game show in 1987. She was born to be a mastermind. It's Ariana Hout. And he's dominated trivia challengers for years in the US, England, and Australia on The Chase, and now he's here. Please welcome my friend, Mark the Beast Labette. Here's how we play. I'll ask you a series of trivia questions over 3 rounds of escalating difficulty. At the end of the game, the highest scoring challenger will face the highest scoring mastermind in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. If a challenger wins, they'll come back to compete again. And if a challenger wins 2 times, then they will be crowned a mastermind and potentially take the place of one of our masterminds on this stage. But not if you guys have anything to say about it, right, Ariana?
I mean, are your parents game show champions?
In round 1, there are 7 subjects, each with a corresponding question. All challengers and masterminds will play. Correct answers are worth 100 points. Good luck, everyone. And the first subject is space travel. As of August 2022, what is the only country besides the United States to land and operate a rover on the surface of Mars? India, China, or France? And the correct answer is China. Challengers, how do we do? Yes, 100 points across the board. Best way to start. And for our masterminds, same for you.
Well, I was about to put the United Kingdom because we did land a rover on the surface of Mars, and then in best British fashion, nothing more was ever heard from again.
China's Martian rover landed in 2021, and they were in search of ancient life on Mars.
Thank you, masterminds. The next subject is music. At one time, what were used to play early 78 RPM phonograph records? Porcupine quills, muskrat whiskers, or cactus needles? And the correct answer is cactus needles. Challengers, how'd we do on this one? Oh, no points.
well.
Okay. Masterminds, how about you? Beastie and Ryan for 100 points apiece.
Saguaro cactus needles were actually used to play early gramophone shellac records.
Thank you, Ryan. The next subject is reboots. Starring many from the original cast, and just like that, is a reboot of what HBO comedy? Weeds, Nurse Jackie, or Sex and the City? And the correct answer is Sex and the City. How about this one, challengers? Oh, well done, 100 points across the board. You guys are paying attention, masterminds? And for you as well.
So Sarah Jessica Parker came back and led the cast again. The only character who didn't appear is Samantha, but they explained that away as her being off in England. So she sends texts every so often.
She's having tea with Beastie?
I wouldn't mind.
Thank you, Ariana. The next subject is literature. What author preferred blue paper over other colors when writing novels such as The Three Musketeers? Alexandre Dumas, Jules Verne, or Victor Hugo? And the correct answer is Alexandre Dumas. Challengers! Yes! Another 100 points across the board. Well done. Masterminds! For you as well.
All I know is the Mastermind's motto is all for one. Are you kidding me? It's every person for themselves.
Thank you, Masterminds. The next subject is athletics. Because some businessmen found basketball too vigorous, William Morgan created what sport that used a lighter ball? racquetball, dodgeball, or volleyball? And the correct answer is volleyball. How do we do on this one, challengers? Okay, for the gentlemen, AJ, Jose.
There we go.
Great, 100 points for you each. And for our masterminds, Beastie and Ryan with 100 points.
Yeah, I knew that William Morgan invented volleyball. It was originally called mintonette, was the original name. I think volleyball is a better name. And they originally used the interior bladder of a basketball as the volleyball.
Thank you, Ryan. The next subject is politics. Susanna Medora Salter was elected mayor of Argonia, Kansas, 32 years before which event? Kansas statehood, 19th Amendment, or she learned that she won? And the correct answer is the 19th Amendment. Challengers. Yes! 100 points across the board. Well done, masterminds. Okay, Ariana for 100 points.
Salter was the first woman elected to really any position of power 32 years before the 19th Amendment, really putting her way ahead of the curve in terms of women's suffrage.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ariana. The last subject is social clubs. Club 33 is an exclusive and secretive members-only club located where? Disneyland, Mount Rushmore, or Yankee Stadium? And the correct answer is Disneyland, challengers. I could tell by the way you buzzed in so quickly, 100 points across the board. Well done, masterminds. 100 points for you as well.
Club 33 is essentially hidden in plain sight. There's a small, very ornate number 33 painted on the wall by a hidden door. It's right next to the entrance to the Blue Bayou, but if you don't know it's there, you would just waltz right past it in New Orleans Square.
Thank you, Ariana. All right, that's it for round one. For our challengers, AJ and Jose are tied with the lead with 600 points. And for our masterminds, it's Ryan and Beastie tied with 600 points. When we return, the points get higher and the questions get more difficult as we get closer to determining who will play for $10,000. It's more masterminds after this. Welcome back to Masterminds. In this round, both the challengers and the masterminds will write in their answers for a chance to build their score. There are 5 subjects, and correct answers are now worth 200 points. At the end of this round, the challenger and the mastermind with the lowest scores will be eliminated. Let's play. And the first subject is space. Elon Musk's Starlink is a constellation of satellites designed to provide global access to what? The correct answer is the internet. Challengers, how do we do? All right, AJ and Jose, 200 points apiece. Congratulations. And for our masterminds, all right, for Ryan, 200 points.
Starlink is part of the SpaceX program of Elon Musk, and they use their Falcon 9 rockets to launch these hundreds of small satellites to form this network orbiting the Earth to provide internet.
Thank you, sir. The next subject is astrology. In the Chinese zodiac, what 3-letter animal comes immediately after the year of the rooster? The correct answer is dog. How'd we do, challengers? Oh no, what'd you say, pig?
I said rat.
Rat, got you. Masterminds, how about you guys? Okay, Beastie, well done. I guess the thinking about it definitely paid off in this one.
Every sort of roughly February, you make a note of what's the new year in the lunar calendar because you're guaranteed to get asked a question on it.
I'm year of the horse. Beastie, do you know what you are?
Snake.
Of course you are.
Why are you surprised?
Not at all. Thank you, masterminds. The next subject is medicine. What is the most commonly transplanted organ in the United States? And the correct answer is kidney. Challengers, how'd we do? Yeah, there we go, 200 points across the board. And for our masterminds, same for you.
In the US, I know there's also it's fairly common to do a living donor transplant. So someone who's related to a person who needs a kidney can donate. And there are even kind of transplant cascades where several people will donate down the chain.
Wow.
So that everybody can benefit.
It's a really beautiful gift.
It is
really
a
is,
gift,
yeah.
beautiful gift. Thank you, masterminds. The next subject is movies. Winner of 2 Oscars, Fargo takes place primarily in what US state? correct answer to this question is Minnesota. How'd we do, challengers? All right, well done, AJ. 200 points added to your score. We've got a cheering mastermind over here. Masterminds, Ryan! Well done, 200 points added to your score.
Yeah, you betcha, Brooke. You know, Fargo is in North Dakota, which is right by the border there. But the movie, it happened mostly in Minnesota. They talk about Bemidji and, you know, the Twin Cities and the Gophers, sure. You betcha.
Just out of curiosity, where are you from, Ryan?
I'm from Minnesota.
Thank you very much, sir. And it's time for the final question of this round. This question is now worth 400 points. This will determine who will be moving on to the next round. Here is your final subject. The subject is math. What vowel has been assigned an approximate mathematical value of 2.72? The correct answer is E. Challengers, how'd we do?
Yes.
Okay, well done, AJ and Jose. 400 points added to your score, which means both of you will be moving on to the next round. Tanea, thank you so much for being here. And how about our masterminds? Okay, 400 points across the board, which means it's gonna be Ryan and Beastie moving on, and we'll see you next time, Ariana. When we come back, it's Challenger versus Challenger and Mastermind versus Mastermind to determine who will compete in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. More Masterminds right after this. Welcome back to Masterminds. It all comes down to this. Which challenger will face the top mastermind for $10,000? We're about to find out. But first, let's get to know them better. Tell us about your job, AJ.
Well, I absolutely love working at the local Boys and Girls Club. I get to help a lot of kids, and I am the undefeated 5th grade basketball coach. And it really helps that we don't keep score. Very hard to lose when you don't keep score.
Oh, that's amazing. How long have you been doing that?
I've been there for about 5 years now.
Wow.
And I absolutely love it.
And you're raising a lot of money for
Yes, that's the primary responsibility. I get to raise a lot of money for the kids, about $10 million over my career there, and I absolutely just adore working
$10
there.
million. Bravo. Hey, hats off for all the work that you're doing. Thank you for that. Welcome to the show, and good luck to you, sir. Yeah. Tell me about your time in the Navy, sir.
Oh, I had a great time in the Navy. I was in for 7 years, got out as a machinist mate chief nuclear. And during the process of that, we ended up doing a round-the-world cruise where I got to set foot on every single continent, including Antarctica.
Really? Wow. How long were you there for?
Antarctica?
Yep.
About half an hour.
Okay, I was gonna say, you don't really want to stay there for too long, right?
No, not at 32 below zero.
No, but what an amazing experience. And thank you so much for your service, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Good luck to you both. In this round, first the challengers and then the masterminds will face off in a timed trivia battle. The first question will be worth 500 points, and each question that follows will be worth an additional 100 points. It's truly anyone's game. Challengers, are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
Then let's go ahead and put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time will begin when I finish reading the first question. Good luck. 500 points. What 2021 action film with Scarlett Johansson is also the name of an arachnid? Jose.
Black Widow.
Correct. 600 points. What bassist and co-lead singer of Kiss once taught 6th grade in Spanish Harlem? AJ.
Paul Stanley.
No. Jose.
Gene Simmons.
Correct. 700 points. In a William Blake poem, what tidal creature is burning bright in the forests of the night? Time. The tiger. 800 points. Near Morgantown, Maryland, what river reaches its deepest point of 107 feet? Jose.
Susquehanna.
Time, AJ.
The Dover.
Potomac. 900 points. With a large bill helpful for grabbing fruit, the toco is the largest subspecies of what bird? AJ.
It was the toucan.
Correct. 1,000 points. Eugene Schuller founded what beauty brand as the French harmless hair dye company? Jose.
Revlon.
No. AJ.
Estee Lauder.
L'Oreal. 1,100 points. Enshrined in 660 BCE, legend states that Jimmu was the first emperor of what country? It was Japan, but that's time. Wow, you guys are tied with 2,500 points. So we are going to break that tie with this next question. Hands on buzzers. And here it is. What impressionist who drew windmills at Dordrecht said, "I dream my painting and I paint my dream"? AJ.
Van Gogh.
Correct! correct. You're moving on, sir. You just won $1,000, and not only that, but the chance to play for $10,000. It was so nice to have you here, Jose, and I hope you enjoyed yourself at least.
I did. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
wonderful. All right, now, AJ, we just have to determine which mastermind you'll be facing.
All right.
That was a surprise, wasn't it?
Exciting, yeah.
All right, you know how this works. Same rules apply. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when I finish reading the first question. 500 points. The site of ancient cave paintings, Lascaux Grotto, was discovered by 4 teenage boys in what country? Ryan.
France.
Correct. 600 points. In 2022, Lieutenant Amanda Lee became the first female pilot of what famed Navy aerial acrobatics team? Ryan.
Blue Angels.
Correct. 700 points. The main recruitment period for fraternities and sororities is known by what speedy term? Ryan.
Rush.
Correct. 800 points. What John Bunyan religious allegory was published in 2 parts in the 1600s? Ryan.
Pilgrim's Progress.
Correct. 900 points. What Grammy and Tony winner won an Emmy for his role of Pray Tell on Pose? Ryan.
Porter.
Correct. 1,000 points. Located in Somerset, England for 5 weeks in 2015, what artist launched the dystopian pop-up art exhibition Dismaland? Ryan.
Banksy.
Correct. 1,100 points. All 6 species of what mammal are classified as having either 2 or 3 toes? Ryan.
Ungulate.
No. Beast.
Camel.
Sloth. 1,200 points. The most massive organism on Earth. Utah's Pando is the name of a giant interconnected grove of what type of trees? Ryan.
Pine trees.
Nope. Beast.
Segura.
Aspen. 1,300 points, holding a myriad of records and playing into his 50s. And time! Ryan, you're on fire! Congratulations, you're tonight's top mastermind. We'll see you next time, Beastie. That means that AJ and Ryan will be going head-to-head in our ultimate trivia showdown. Can AJ win $10,000 and take one step closer to becoming a mastermind? Find out when we come back. Welcome back to Masterminds. AJ has won $1,000 and will now face Ryan Chafee in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. Here's how we play. I'll read 4 questions to AJ and Ryan, and they will each write down their answers. Once the players have locked in their responses, I'll reveal the correct answers. If AJ gets the higher score, then he will win $10,000. All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
It's now time to find out if AJ will win $10,000. Let's begin. Here's your first question. The Tin Drum is the first book in what trilogy by Günter Grass? AJ, you answered with?
Nutcracker?
Nutcracker. Ryan, you answered with?
About as reasonable as the German trilogy.
The German trilogy. And the correct answer is Danzig. Tough question. Score remains 0-0. Hang in there, AJ. Here's your second question. Which planet's day lasts longer than its year? AJ, you said?
Mercury.
Mercury. Ryan, you said?
I was between Mercury and Venus, and I went Venus.
Venus. All right. The correct answer is Venus.
Really great answer.
Saw you guys going back and forth. These are really tough. Okay, AJ, 0-1. Here's your third question. You're not out of it yet. Element 104 on the periodic table is named in honor of what man who conceived the structure of atoms? AJ, you answered with?
Bohr.
Bohr. Ryan, how about you?
I also said Niels Bohr.
Niels Bohr as well, and the correct answer is Ernest Rutherford. Oh. Okay, 0-1. AJ, we're down to the final question. You have to get this one right to have a chance at the $10,000. We're all pulling for you. Here we go. Here's your final question. What is the most populous U.S. city named for a British prime minister? AJ, you said?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Ryan, you said?
I said Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay, your answers are different. AJ, if Baltimore's correct, you still have a shot at the $10,000. To still have a chance for the $10,000, is Baltimore correct? No, it's Pittsburgh. Oh, AJ, I'm so sorry. This was such a tough round. You did a great job. You won $1,000. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Ryan, you did it again. Join us next time to see who can outsmart the best players in the world right here on Masterminds. Good night, everyone.
Do you have what it takes to defeat Mark the Beast Labette and his fellow trivia geniuses? Find out tonight on Masterminds. And here's your host, Brooke Burns.
Hello and welcome to Masterminds, a game of trivia, smarts, and strategy. Let's meet our challengers. She's a retired Army soldier and sergeant of 20 years who loves to run marathons. Please welcome Akasha to the show. He's a high school teacher who used to play in a heavy metal band from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Please welcome Anthony. And he's a middle school band director who loves to crochet. Please welcome Max to the show. Welcome, everyone. Are you ready to face the Masterminds?
Yeah!
Yes, I love this energy. Let's do it. They're ready for you guys. He's a member of Mensa, a Quiz Bowl coach, and a world-renowned chess player. It's Jonathan Corbla. She has degrees in anthropology, American civilization, and Swedish studies, and she knows how to rock some really cool glasses. It's Muffy Morocco! Meet one of the world's great trivia masters who devours information like The Rock devours protein shakes. It's Mark the Beast Labette! Welcome, Masterminds. These three say they're ready to face you. How do you feel about that?
I mean, they might think that they're ready to face us, but do they know it? Do they really know what they're in for?
Here's how we play. I'll ask you a series of trivia questions over 3 rounds of escalating difficulty. At the end of the game, the highest scoring challenger will face the highest scoring mastermind in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. If a challenger wins, they'll come back to compete again. And if a challenger wins 2 times, then they will be crowned a mastermind and potentially take the place of one of our masterminds on this stage. In round 1, there are 7 subjects, each with a corresponding question. All challengers and masterminds will play, and correct answers are worth 100 points. Good luck. And the first subject is animals. Warrigal is the Aboriginal word for what vicious creature of the Australian outback? Dingo, crocodile, or cassowary? And the correct answer is dingo. Challengers, how'd we do? Okay, well done. Akasha and Max, 100 points apiece. Masterminds, Muffy and Beastie for 100 points.
The dingo is kind of like a dog, but it doesn't bark. It sort of has more of a warbling, sing-song kind of noise.
Wait, do that again?
The next subject is sports. The average lifespan of a Major League Baseball is how many pitches? 7, 14, or 21? The correct answer is 7. Challengers? Okay, well done, Max, for 100 points. How about on our mastermind side? Beastie and Jonathan, 100 points apiece.
It's not just foul balls and home runs that take them out of place, but the umpire will usually check for any scuffing because they want it at premium quality before it gets to pitch.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. The next subject is celebrities. Providing teen mental health support programs, the Born This Way Foundation was created by whom? Reese Witherspoon, Lady Gaga, or Dr. Phil? And the correct answer is Lady Gaga. I have a good feeling about this. Yeah, 100 points across the board again. Well done, Masterminds. 100 points across the board for you.
Yeah, it's named after the song, which is practically an anthem about Born This Way and treat everyone as you'd like to be treated.
Absolutely.
She can sing, she can act. Her first name is Stephanie. That's my real first name, so obviously we have a lot in common.
So, what went wrong?
The next subject is virtual help. Which digital assistant got its name from the Halo video game franchise? Alexa, Siri, or Cortana? And the correct answer is Cortana. How about this one, challengers? All right, another 100 points across the board. I like this. Masterminds. Muffy and Jonathan, 100 points apiece.
So Cortana is the virtual assistant for Windows, and she's actually been voiced by the same actress in the Halo games and for the digital assistant.
Very interesting. The next subject is fashion. Wedding gowns in the style of Jasmine, Belle, and Tiana are part of a collection inspired by what company's characters? Mattel, Disney, or Nintendo? The correct answer is Disney. Challengers? Yeah, 100 points across the board. And for our masterminds, well done.
I don't know if you've got them here, but in Britain, Disney princess parties are a big thing for 5- and 6-year-olds. They just go mad for it. It's a really good gig for jobbing actresses.
Thank you, Beastie. The next subject is innovators. Engineer, psychologist, and mother of 12, Lillian Gilbreth is recognized for many inventions, including which of these? The football helmet, foot-long hot dog, or foot-pedal trash can? And the correct answer is foot-pedal trash can. How'd we do, challengers? All right, well done, Anthony, for 100 points. Masterminds, 100 points across the board.
If you're a mother of 12, I can only imagine how eager you are to throw things out with ease.
I was gonna say, if you're a mother of 12, you have need for all 3 of these things. The last subject is nicknames. Because local laws promised fast proceedings, what Western city became known as the divorce capital of the world? Flagstaff, Reno, or Sacramento? And the correct answer is Reno. How'd we do, challengers? Yes, another 100 points across the board. And for our masterminds, 100 points across the board over here as well. Okay, that's it for round 1. For our challengers, Max is in the lead with 600 points. Well done, sir. And our masterminds are tied 600 points across the board. When we return, the points get higher and the questions get more difficult as we get closer to determining who will play for $10,000. More masterminds after this. To Masterminds. In this round, both the challengers and the masterminds will write in their answers for a chance to build their score. There are 5 subjects, and correct answers are now worth 200 points. At the end of this round, the challenger and the mastermind with the lowest scores will be eliminated. Let's play. The first subject is entertainment. Parcheesi is based on a board game that originated in what Asian country? The correct answer is India. Challengers, how'd we do? Okay, Max got it for 200 points. Congratulations. Masterminds, Muffy and Jonathan, 200 points apiece.
I mean, it's well known that chess began in India, but so did Parcheesi. And instead of dice, back in the olden days, they were throwing shells.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
A lot of the basic board games, from chess to Parcheesi to things like backgammon, are really quite old.
It's amazing.
Turns out that before television, people got bored and played games with each other.
Thank you, Muffy. The next subject is snacks. What bow tie-wearing popcorn king spent 40 years crossbreeding 30,000 hybrids until he found the perfect kernel? The correct answer is Orville Redenbacher. How'd we do, challengers? Okay, well done, Anthony and Max, 200 points apiece. And for our masterminds, Muffy and Jonathan, 200 points apiece.
So he actually started his company back in like the 1960s, and we've been enjoying popcorn ever since then.
That's amazing that he did so many. I guess practice really does make perfect, huh?
That is a lot of dedication to popcorn.
Absolutely.
Brooke, are you kettle corn, butter corn, or cheesy popcorn?
Movie theater butter. Muffy, what about you?
I just like butter and salt, like the standard, you know.
Beastie?
Never heard of it.
Thank you, masterminds. The next subject is space. What Italian astronomer is credited as the first person to observe Saturn with a telescope? The correct answer for 200 points is Galileo. How'd we do, challengers? All right, Anthony and Max, 200 points apiece. And for our masterminds, 200 points for Jonathan and Muffy.
So his telescope was very, very crude. It was like a very basic telescope. When he first looked at Saturn, he thought that they were little ears, and that's what he would describe it as, Saturn having ears.
Oh, okay. Before they found out that the ring actually went all the way around.
Right, the rings, the moons.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. The next subject is festivals. Famous for its fireworks, Riverfest in Cincinnati is an end-of-summer party along the shores of what river? And the correct answer is Ohio River. Challengers? All right, Akasha, well done. 200 points added to your score. Masterminds, 200 points across the board.
Cincinnati is at the very bottom of the state of Ohio, just across the river, the Ohio River from Kentucky. And a lot of boats gather along from both states and celebrate the end of summer with a lot of booming fireworks.
Thank you, Muffy. It's time for the final question of this round. This question is worth 400 points. This will determine who will be moving on to the next round. Here is your final subject. The subject is awards. Over his lifetime, who was Oscar nominated in a record-breaking 7 different categories before winning for Belfast? Okay, 400 points, and to determine who's moving on, the correct answer is Kenneth Branagh. How'd we do? Anthony's clapping. That means he got it for sure. Well done, Anthony. That's 400 points added to your score, and you and Max will be moving on to the next round. Akasha, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure. And for our masterminds, okay, Muffy and Beastie, 400 points added to your score. It's going to be Muffy and Jonathan moving on. Beastie, we'll see you next time. When we come back, it's Challenger versus Challenger and Mastermind versus Mastermind to determine who will compete in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. More Masterminds after this. Welcome back to Masterminds. It all comes down to this. Which challenger will face the top mastermind for $10,000? We're about to find out. But first, let's get to know them better. Anthony, tell me what you teach.
I run the media department at a local private high school. I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin in film production.
Oh, wow.
I then got a master's degree from the American Film Institute in screenwriting. And I get really energized when I teach the kids, so I try to keep it fun for them. I run pretty much the fun class.
I bet. They think you're the best one to have around.
Yeah, definitely.
How long have you been doing that?
Like 5 years.
Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Max, tell me about your journey to becoming a music teacher.
So I love music, and I'm a French horn player. And when I was in middle school band, I knew I wanted to be a band teacher. So now I'm a middle school band teacher.
Wow, you've known for a long time, huh?
Yeah. And I have the biggest program in my district now. I have about 200 students.
My goodness.
And a couple of years ago, I got Teacher of the Year.
No way! Yeah. Look at you. Voted by the students?
Voted by the teachers.
The teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, even more impressive.
Yeah.
Well, they would know.
Oh,
So
thanks.
congratulations on that,
Thank you
and
so
welcome
much.
to the show. Good luck to you
Thank
both,
you.
gentlemen. In this round, first the challengers and then the masterminds will face off in a timed trivia battle. The first question will be worth 500 points, and each question that follows will be worth an additional 100 points. This is truly anyone's game. Challengers, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and put 60 seconds on the clock, please. Your time will begin when I finish reading the first question. Good luck. 500 points. In most states, teenagers wanting to progress from a permit to a driver's license must be what minimum age? Anthony.
15.
Nope, Max.
16.
Correct. 600 points. The Peloponnesian War was fought in ancient Greece between factions led by Sparta and what city-state? Anthony.
Troy.
Nope, Max.
Carthage.
Athens. 700 points. The name of what female country supergroup with Maren Morris is a nod to an 80s male country supergroup with Johnny Cash? Time, The Highwomen. 800 points. In 1978, a Japanese rheumatologist developed what treatment that uses chambers filled with extremely cold, dry air? Time, Cryotherapy. 900 points. Empowering young women. The T-Zone Foundation was created by what supermodel and reality TV host? Anthony?
Tyra Banks.
Correct. 1,000 points. What country appointed an official national wizard in 1990 who once lived in Christchurch? Anthony?
UK.
Nope. Max?
New Zealand.
Correct. 1,100 points. Making it easier to extract delicate baked goods like cheesecakes, what two-piece cake pan has a detachable sideband? Time. Springform is the answer there. Max, congratulations. You just won $1,000. And not only that, but the chance to play for $10,000. Well done. It was so nice to have you here, Anthony. Max, we just have to determine now which mastermind you'll be facing. All right, masterminds, you know how this works. Same rules apply. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time will begin when I finish reading the first question. 500 points. The name of what Mexican beer is Spanish for 2 X's? Jonathan.
Dos Equis.
Correct. 600 points. A suit coat with 2 front flaps that greatly overlap rather than meeting near the middle is known as a double what? Jonathan.
Breasted.
Correct. 700 points. In the first verse of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, which word has the most R's? Jonathan?
Merrily.
Correct. 800 points. What boxer beat Max Schmeling in a historic 1938 title fight at Yankee Stadium? Jonathan?
Joe Louis.
Correct. 900 points. After becoming a new dad, what face-tattooed Circles singer launched a line of cute clothes for little rock stars? Muffy?
Post Malone?
Correct. 1,000 points. Used in traditional Native American agriculture, the 3 sisters include squash, beans, and what? Muffy?
Corn.
Correct. 1,100 points. For over 35 years, Sarah Josepha Hale lobbied the U.S. government for the creation of what federal holiday? Muffy?
Mother's Day?
Nope. Jonathan?
Martin Luther King Day.
Thanksgiving. 1,200 points. Germany's Glinka Bridge earned what nickname for its use in high-level prisoner exchanges during the Cold War? Jonathan?
The Bridge of Spies.
Correct. 1,300 points at a traditional Passover Seder. An extra cup of wine is poured for what profit? Oh, time! Jonathan is tonight's top mastermind. Well done. And we'll see Muffy next time. That means that Max and Jonathan will be going head-to-head in our ultimate trivia showdown. Can Max win $10,000 and take one step closer to becoming a mastermind? Find out when we come back. Welcome back to Masterminds. Max has won $1,000 and will now face Jonathan Corbla in the ultimate trivia showdown for $10,000. Here's how we play. I'll read 4 questions to Max and Jonathan, and they'll each write down their answers. Once the players have locked in their responses, I'll reveal the correct answers. If Max gets the higher score, then he will win $10,000. Max, if you win the grand prize, what are you going to do with the money?
Well, since I'm a music teacher, I've been playing the same French horn for over 20 years, and it's time for a new one.
Wow, it is time, absolutely. Okay, well, here's to your new French horn.
Thanks.
It is now time to find out if Max will win $10,000. Let's begin. Here's your first question. In 1951, which government bureau became the first to use the UNIVAC-1, an early form of computer? Max, you said?
NASA.
NASA. Jonathan, you said?
The Bureau of Printing and Engraving.
Bureau of Printing and Engraving. The correct answer is U.S. Census Bureau. All right, score remains 0-0. And here's your second question. What protective white outer layer of the eyeball is an opaque continuation of the cornea? Max, you said?
Iris.
Iris. Jonathan, you said?
Retina.
Retina. And the correct answer is sclera. Tough questions here. Score remains 0-0. Hang in there, Max. Here's your third question. With deep-set buttoning, high-rolled arms, and nail-head trim, what leather sofa is said to be named for a British earl? All right, Max, you answered with?
Staffordshire?
Staffordshire. Jonathan?
Winchester.
Winchester. And the correct answer is Chesterfield.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, when you see it, you know it, right?
Yep.
Those are the worst
Yep.
kind. All right, it's okay. This was rough all around. Score remains 0-0. We have one question left, Max. If you get this one right and Jonathan is wrong, you can still win that $10,000. Good luck. Here is your final question. Honoring Queen Elizabeth I, what Edmund Spenser work is one of the longest English written poems? Okay, Max?
Ode to Her Majesty.
Ode to Her Majesty. Jonathan?
Fairy Queen.
Fairy Queen. Max? If the correct answer is Ode to Her Majesty, you just win $10,000. Is Ode to Her Majesty correct? No, it's Fairy Queen. Oh my gosh, that was such a tough final round. Max, you did a great job. You won $1,000. We really enjoyed having you here. Jonathan, well done. Join us next time to see who can outsmart the best players in the world right here on Masterminds.